Hello, and welcome to the Knitting Traditions Podcast. My name is Inga, and I live on the west coast of Norway, and this is my little corner on the internet where I talk about my knitting. So today, maybe a little bit of a shorter episode. Just wanted to catch up with all of you. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you're new here, I hope you enjoy my content. And if you do, you can like and subscribe, and my videos will be suggested to you in the future. Well, so it's fall and it's actually sunny. It's a bit slippery on the roads because it's actually -degrees. So there's that, but usually the colder weather means we don't have rain. So I wanted to record in my knitting corner on the couch. This is where I spend most of my free time knitting, and the view was really nice because of the sun. So here we are. I am wearing the Amy slipover. This is a kind of tied at the sides slipover from this magazine right here, from Sandnes garn. It's called Soft for Women, or Soft for Lady in English. And the Amy slipover is supposed to be knit with a merino and a silk mohair. I knit it with an unspun roving yarn from hillesvåg together with a silk mohair. So this is a bit thicker. It's very, very warm. And if I'm gonna make it again, I think I would opt for the unspun yarn once again instead of a spun yarn, because it just feels really nice. So highly recommend. And I have some whips to show today. I have one finished object. So if you've watched this podcast in the previous episodes, you know that I am doing a makealong together with Woolyknit. It's a celebration of British wool. So until the 1st of December, you can cast on something using British wool or British breeds yarns and post a photo on Instagram with the hashtag WKxKT. Follow Woolyknit on Instagram and subscribe to my channel here. And then on the 1st of December, a winner will be drawn, and they will get a £75 coupon code to Woolyknit's website with free international shipping. And also the lovely Heather and Hops Cat Weaver has donated 4 or 5 of her patterns to winners as well. So, and also Woolyknit has a discount code running until the 26th of October. So there's still a bit left of that. It'll give you 20% off. So all of the information will be in the description box below if there's anything you're curious about. And I have finished an object. So this is the Francis pullover by the lovely Mint Knit, Melinda. She's a new podcaster as well. And the sun is shining through, but you can see here this lovely textured yoke. And sorry, we can never have the perfect conditions, so I want you to have the view, hence a little bit bad lighting, but that's how it is. So this is the Francis pullover, and I knit this using the cinnamon color in British wool 4-ply cones. And I held it together with rauma alpaca silk, or silk alpaca. And the cone that they sent had 222 grams, and I had literally 2 rows left on the last sleeve when I ran out of it, but I had another 500 cone from them in this colorway that I bought before, so it wasn't a problem. Which means if I have 250 grams of a color, that will give me the perfect size sweater. I did some modifications to the sleeves. That's the only modification I did to the pattern. She includes a 3/4 length sleeve or a full length with decreases, and I just knit it straight to a full length with a long brim, just because it's my favorite kind of sleeve. And I think that as knitters, part of the creativity is to alter things to what you know you like. And the sleeves in the pattern are beautiful. I just know that I really like this kind of openness to the sleeves, so that when I'm wearing it, it has this look. I think, no, it's not completely on, but yeah, I like the way these kind of sleeves look. So that's a modification that I made. It's softened up beautifully. I laid it to soak overnight in like a Eucalan wool soap. I filled like a huge bucket with warm water and with the soap, and then I just put it in, not too much friction. There isn't really spinning oil in the Woolyknit cones. Hull's super soft, and the knit cones that I've used, they have spinning oil in them. But I don't find that the Woolyknit British cones have spinning oil. I haven't noticed any smell or feeling of oil, at least. But I still left it to soak in warm water, just because I don't know, I feel like it really opens up the wool, and yeah, I just like to do that. And then I just let it sit overnight and then squeeze out the water and laid it flat to dry. So yeah, my Francis pullover is finished. It's my second garment that I've done with this makealong, and I have made some progress on my other whips. Let's see. My knitting basket. I keep a basket of knitting next to my couch, actually several baskets. So I've made a bit of progress on the Copenhagen cardigan that I'm knitting, and this one is using the color Loden Green in the British wool cones. This color right here, it's blowing out. It's a beautiful dark green, and I'm holding it together with Drops Kid Silk. I haven't bought Drops Kid Silk in many years. I think this has been in my stash since I studied medical school in Poland, so it's at least 5 years old, this yarn, and I have quite a bit of this color, and I thought they made a good match. So this is the Copenhagen cardigan. Last time I had finished the raglan increases, and I've knit quite a bit on the body, which is knit back and forth, and yeah, it's going to be a really nice cardigan. The button band is knit along with it. It's folding itself in a little bit, but I think it'll block out nicely. And I am making the size large, I believe. For the Francis pullover, I made the size 3. I could probably have made the medium for this as well, but I didn't want it to be a tight cardigan. I want to be able to layer, so I made the large, and we'll see how big it gets. I think also my gauge was slightly off, so I have a slightly tighter fabric, I think, if I can remember correctly. So that's another reason I chose the large. And it's growing, and it's going to be amazing. The silk mohair definitely has a softer feel to it than the alpaca silk, as yeah, it's both of them are really nice though, and warm and squishy, but this is a bit softer. Maybe this fabric would have been better for the cardigan than this, because I don't know, I feel it holds itself better, if that makes any sense. So yeah, a bit of progress made on this. I'm really excited to have this one finished as well. Yeah, I'm really excited to have this one finished as well. The last current ongoing whip for the makealong with wool in it is my half and half triangles wrap. I don't think I have knit on this since the last time I recorded, but I am going on a little trip this week, and I am bringing this with me. And this is a free pattern from Pearl Soho, the half and half triangles wrap. Many people have knit on it. This is my third one. I highly recommend this pattern if you're not in the rush to finish something. This is a nice lingering pattern to bring with you well, yeah, just to bring with you for car rides and plane rides. I really like it. I've knit the first half 260 stitches, which is the larger size on 3.5 millimeter needles in the color jet black, and then the other color is the Skidal Nep brown, and I just got an email a week or two ago that this is back in stock on their website. So beautiful combination. I think I'm really happy that I went with it. It's going to be really nice and warm and a lot lighter weight than the two versions that I have in linen quill. And I'm just knitting straight from the comb, putting it on the ground and just knitting along. And what's great with knitting from combs is that you don't have that many ends to weave in because there is no knots in this. I've never experienced any knots, at least. So from beginning to end, it's just one long thread, so you're not attaching new balls as you go. So that's really nice. And I am doing an I-cord edging on my half and half wrap. So usually I will have my beginning end and last end will be ending here. So I just weave the end into the I-cord so it's invisible. And that works really well for me. And also I've been doing German short rows instead of the wrap and turn, which is in the free pattern. Yes, I think that is all. Last time I also showed you the unarmoured defense cowl by the lovely cat from Heather and Hops, and I have not knit on it since last time, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. You can see the previous video if you're interested, but it's this beautiful similar cowl to this. This one has ties in the end. This one will have a button fastening. This is definitely more oversized than this, so if I were to make it again, I might make a bigger size. But yeah, it's going to be beautiful. And I'm using the Lang Yak yarn, which is incredibly soft and squishy. Highly recommend. Yes, I have some more whips. So from this pattern book that I showed you, I'm currently knitting on the Guernsey genser by sandnes garn. It's this sweater right here. It's similar to the Ingrid sweater from Petite Knit. This one is a bit more baggy though. I prefer this, and I am knitting it in nutiden yarn in the color grodd, which was in their May collection, I believe. And these are the last two of the 6 plates that I got, but a very, very lovely person that I've been in contact with is sending some of this over so that I can make the sweater longer. So thank you. And this is the silk mohair from Isager that I'm holding it with in the color 57. And I find that they complement each other quite nicely. So this is my progress so far. I have made the neckband, the yoke, both of the sleeves are done, and I have made a bit progress on the body. I mean, it's huge, it barely fits. Oops, sorry. It barely even fits in frame here. Before I got in contact with this person, I have been sort of pulling on my yarn to elongate the fibers. It makes it a bit thinner, but it lengthens it. So I figured that if I wasn't able to find anyone who had some leftovers of this yarn, then if I just elongated it, then I will get a bit more length to the garment. But now, problem solved. So I'll just wait for that to arrive, and then I can make this really long and squishy, because it's going to be huge. So it would have been a shame if it ended at my belly button. I kind of want it to be a big comforting hug that gives warmth through all of my torso at least. So yeah, really happy with how this is turning out though. It's going to be a lovely garment to have. So that is one of my whips, and I have fiber everywhere. Another whip that I am working on is this beautiful hat. This is the oak beanie by Vera Valimaki. I have made one of these hats already. I had 2 of these skeins from Hodgepodge Fibers. It's an Australian based dyer, and this is 100% Australian merino wool. She sent me 2 skeins of this yarn, and I thought I would need both of them for one hat, but I actually managed to finish the oak beanie with 1 skein. So I am currently making another one with the second. So I just have to make sure that I start the decreases early enough to actually finish it up. This time around, I think I'll be doing the decreases for the crown the same way that the watchcap hat decreases are done. I just like the way those look. So that is one of my current whips, and I'm knitting it on 5.5mm needles. And yes, I think I am making the smallest size in the oak beanie pattern because this yarn is slightly thicker than the recommended. I have a tiny head, so this will fit me. Another hat that I am working on is the watchcap hat by Pearl Soho, free pattern as well. I have already made one of these. I wore it in the last episode, and I had 2 balls of it, so I'm making another one. And I'm going to make sure that this one is slightly longer, just because this one is more of a hipster hat, and I want to make one that goes a little bit further down. So that is the plan. And I have this yarn left from the first beanie, so I should be able to make it longer. And this is the Inca garn, almost my name, with a C instead of a G, from a Norwegian commercial company. I mentioned it in the previous episode. Now I don't remember their name, but I bought it at a store in Norway that's called Nille. And the last and final whip that I have to share with you today is that I got back into my square blankets project. So last year I started making lots of these squares with rauma finul. I have lots of earthy tones in this yarn. I really love rauma finul. I think it's a really great yarn, and I have started back up with making squares because with all the fall colors and the coziness, I kind of felt inspired to get back into my blanket project. So I've made 2 squares since last time and just casted on the third. And I'm using 3.75mm needles for this project in my Likkeset interchangeables. And I cast on 30 stitches, and then I knit until I have 30 garter bumps and cast off. So that gives me a square with the gauge that I have here. So it's perfect. And I'm just gonna be making lots and lots more of these squares in different colors. But it's also a great project to take on the go. Smaller than the half and half wrap, but also more fiddly because you have to turn every 30 stitches instead of knitting for 260 at the end. Because this one is just getting longer and longer now, while this one is more turns. But it's still mindless, so it's fine. I feel like I really powered through all of this content. That is all of the whips that I have, but it's plenty of whips. I have other whips that are lingering. I am planning to maybe knit a little bit more on my linen stitch pillowcase, and maybe I'll knit on a pair of socks on the trip that I'm taking this week. I'm definitely bringing my half and half triangle straps, so we'll see how far that gets along. And maybe I want to bring a garment project. Might finish the unarmoured defense cowl, or I might bring with me the Copenhagen cardigan. I haven't quite decided. I might cast on something new, but I don't think I'll have the time. So we'll see. A little outfit change, wearing the Francis pullover. I almost forgot to show you some acquisitions, and I figured since I had already changed into the sweater that I could show you. So I am an affiliate member of KnitCrate, and they send me their monthly subscription box, so you get 2 skeins usually of that month's yarn, and you don't choose the colors, so that's a bit of a surprise. And this month I got the Adine's Wool's Mellow. This is a 80% alpaca, 20% tencel in a bulky weight. So it's 114 meters to 100 grams. So it's actually quite similar yarn weights to the hodgepodge fibers that I showed you. So I am already planning for this yarn to be beanies. I have a very sensitive forehead, but a lot of the yarns that I have got from KnitCrate I've made hats with, and they are all very soft. I don't think I've gotten a scratchy yarn yet, so I think this would be a really nice hat. And the colorway, once I first saw it, it looked like a mossy green to me, but it has more of it's an interesting color. It's like gray with green undertones and hints of teal. So it's a beautiful yarn, and I think it's gonna be a really nice hat. So if you're interested, I always put my sort of discount code in the info box below here, and also links. And if you use my coupon code or the link, I get a little bit of money from KnitCrate. So I just always want to be open about that. But yeah, I'm really happy. There's only a few months that I've gotten colors that's not up my alley, but those yarns make for great gifts. So it's really a win-win situation. And I just can't stop touching this yarn. All right, back to the regular podcast. Yeah, I think that's all I have to talk about today. I need to get packing and organizing, so I hope that you're well. I hope that you're happy making whatever it is that you're making. If you want to leave a comment, know that I'd read every single one, and I highly, highly appreciate it. And I can't thank you enough for spending time with me here, and I hope to chat with you again soon. Bye!